Hi, if you're a deep feeler on a healing journey to rebuild your self-worth, I'm so glad you're here because I am too. I am also a deep feeler on a journey trying to rebuild my self-worth. And it's not easy because I am highly sensitive. I was diagnosed with OCD a couple years ago. So all these things kind of combined have made my self-worth really fragile my whole life. And also growing up as an immigrant kid in the 90s, just another whole identity layer that we could talk about in another video. But so on this journey, I realized something. Those are all kind of pieces of why I really struggled with self-worth and confidence for so long and still do. Although now I have more tools and more awareness, and I'm really proud of how far I've come, but it's always going to be a struggle. I don't think any of this ever goes away. So, on knowing your values is foundational to building your self-worth. If you don't know what matters to you, you're going to look to others, you're going to look to external validation, you're going to look everywhere else to figure out what you want to do. And if you have good people around you, that works for a while and it might work, but at the end of the day, you still wouldn't know who you are inside. That can become very painful for a deep feeler to not really know what you want and what you care about. So I think it's really, really important to figure out your values if you want to build lasting self-worth. So knowing that, question is, how do we even figure out our values? It's really not easy. It's actually hard to figure that out, especially if you've been people pleasing your whole life. So some things you can do is there's so many books out there, like Brene Brown's books are amazing. There's podcasts, there's quizzes, there's you can get these kind of card decks that have values in them that you can sort through. And all of those are super, super helpful. And I'll put some of my favorite links below as well so you can check that out. But one thing that they all have in common is they take time. And as a busy working mom, and even if you're not a mom, as a just human in today's day and age, time is extremely limited. We don't have a lot of extra time. And then if it comes to therapy, it's not only time, it's money as well. And another limitation is that a lot of times something like therapy, you are going there once a week. And so you might have had a difficult situation that you were dealing with, but then by the time you get to therapy, it's kind of processed or cooled down or you're recollecting it. So it moves from being a heart thing and a somatic thing to a head thing. And then it's harder to really unpack your values from a head space. You really need a combination of your heart and head together. The tool that I want to share today that has helped me so much, and so much so that I put together this video to talk about, is using AI, specifically ChatGPT. I know it sounds silly, but hear me out. So what I have been doing is when I have a situation that I feel really triggered by or really overwhelmed with my feelings, right, which happens fairly often, right? I go to ChatGPT, I describe the situation, and then I have it reflect back to me what values are showing up. I also share some ideas for value aligned next steps I can take. And it's been super, super helpful. So, because the idea is you're putting in raw emotions and thoughts, and you're getting back a thoughtful, reflective response about what values are showing up in that moment. And over time, you will see a theme, you'll see a trend, and then you won't need the AI because you know your values. And then once you know your values, you can make decisions and feel empowered in your day to day, and your self worth just naturally grows. It's amazing. I'm really, really passionate about it. And so let me jump into a screen share and I'll show you how I use it. Here's my Ever After AI. You can access it for free by signing up for a ChatGPT account, which is free. I would also highly recommend downloading the ChatGPT app because you can talk to it on the go while you're driving, stuff like that. I find it to be super, super helpful. So it's a very simple GPT that I made, and the instructions are right here. It says, share a situation you're going through, big or small, and I can help identify the key values that are showing up. Over time, you'll get clarity on your core values, and that will help you stop overthinking, stop people pleasing, and start building lasting self-worth. Doesn't that sound amazing, to stop overthinking and people pleasing? I mean, I don't think it's ever gonna fully be done for everyone, especially if you're a deep feeler or you have OCD or something like that, like me. But I will say, knowing your values is a huge unlock to this. It's a huge, huge unlock, and it's giving me more confidence and self-worth than ever, and hope, because I'm not people pleasing all the time anymore. It's super, super thrilling and fun. I'm like, has everyone else been living like this the whole time? Because it's way better than what I've been doing. Anyway, so I made a little thing here called a conversation starter. It's a little cut off, but I'll click it to show you guys what it is. You can click that to get started. It says, I will share a moment I'm having, help clarify what values are showing up. So now you're telling the GPT what you're about to do. And so here you can share a situation you're dealing with. And so I have one ready here that I'll share. You can share a situation you're dealing with. It could be triggering or difficult. It could also be extremely joyful and happy. Either of these kind of moments are good. It's just something that is making you feel a lot or think a lot that you want to put in here. You can type. You can also click this and use dictate and talk, and it'll carry over what you're saying more easily. Or you can click this, which I can't do right now because I'm doing a screen recording, but then you can literally talk and it'll talk back to you, and it pretty much sounds like a human, but a robot human, but it has human-like voices, and you could pick the type of voice you like, and it's really fun as well. So because I'm doing this as a recording demo, I don't want to mess with the mic and the audio stuff, so I'm just going to type it out. It's the most standard way, but I really do recommend using voice because when you speak things, a lot of times it comes out more freely, and the transcription technology on this thing is amazing. So the situation I'm going to write about is something joyful. So recently, my 8-year-old started teaching her friends some Korean words from the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. And then one of her friends' moms texted me saying that her daughter wants to now learn Korean, and they're not Korean. And it just made me so, so happy. And some context is that I grew up in the 90s as an immigrant kid, and I was often really embarrassed about my culture. My mom put seaweed in my lunchbox, and everyone was like, ew, that's gross. Like, that's what I grew up in. And now it's a world where, there's seaweed snacks at Trader Joe's. And apparently my 8-year-old is teaching other girls about Korean, and they're now wanting to learn Korean. And it's just this whole full circle moment. It's so healing, and it makes me so happy. And I want to know why it makes me so happy. I have a sense, right? But I want some words to it, because words have power. And when you can name your values, you can seek more experiences out that bring you closer to those values. So that's what I'm doing here. That's all you have to do. Describe the situation. You click send. Let's see what it says. It does such a good job of validating your experience. I know it's just the computer, but it still feels good, right? And so here are the values that it's seeing: cultural pride, yes; legacy, yes; connection. And I would take more time to read it and process it if it wasn't a demo, but I'm just going through it here quickly. And yes, it does resonate with me. It really does. These 3 really do. And it's like, I felt all these things. I knew all these things, but what the AI is doing, it's reflecting back what it's seeing. Like, it's taking your experience as an input and then going through all of the internet's knowledge to see what values this incident, what this situation is highlighting. And it gives you words to name what you're feeling. And it's really cool because it's hard to name what you're feeling when you're overwhelmed with either joy or sadness. It's hard, especially as a deep feeler, because you're constantly feeling so much that it's sometimes hard to know why. So I have just loved this process. And so it asks you, does it resonate with you? Yes. Does it feel aligned? Yes. And if it doesn't, you can say, no, it doesn't. Like, this one, legacy doesn't make sense. Fix it. And there's a feature now where you can literally highlight what it is and it'll copy, and you can literally respond to directly that. I won't do that right now, but you can. And then it's saying, would you like to talk to some next steps to keep honoring these values in your life? Yes. These are great little actions you can take. I love these. I love these, right? And this is the experience you can have by using Ever After AI. And if you actually go on your app, you can do it on the go. So if you're like feeling a lot like, I'm freaking out, like what is happening, then it could also help you. And always remember, AI is not the end all be all. It's a reflection tool, and you are the thought, you are the person and the human. You can use it as a reflection tool to help you name these values. Over time, you probably won't really need it a lot, but I think it's super helpful initially when you're on your journey, when you're on your self-worth healing journey, when you really need help figuring out what your core values are, especially if you're a deep feeler and you've been people pleasing your whole life. This is a game changer, and you can do it in the midst of real life, not by going on some big retreat or like carving out like endless amounts of time. It's like on the go values clarity tool. So I love it. Hopefully you find it helpful. I'll put all the link and details and everything below. So that's it. That's the Ever After AI and how I've been using it in the midst of crazy busy mom life. And well, if you're someone that's been overthinking your whole life or people pleasing for a really long time, it's really hard to reconnect with your values. And it's such a shame because it's such a simple and powerful way to build your confidence and self-worth. So that's why I made this, and that's why I'm sharing this. And it's also a completely different day, and I'm in a different country right now. I'm visiting Portugal for my sister's wedding. Life keeps happening, and I have a lot of things going on, but I really want to get this video done. So it's not one smooth cut, it's not professional, but I really want to get information out there and share it with you all. So in the spirit of done is better than perfect, this is it. I hope you all found it helpful. I'm Diana, and I made Ever Afters now for deep feeling moms ready to reclaim their self-worth, confidence, creativity, and show our kids how it's done.